more resilient. So even when your world is falling down, you gotta keep ascending. Gotta keep ascending. Oh yeah. Gotta keep ascending. Yeah. Even at your worst, you gotta keep your vision. That's the only way that you gon' keep ascending. Gotta keep ascending. Oh yeah. Gotta keep ascending. Yeah. Even at your worst, you gotta keep your vision. That's the only way that you gon' keep ascending. Her pain is my pain. Her struggle's my struggle.
Happy Sunday, everybody. It's Toni Rochelle. I hope y'all can hear me. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Believe Radio. I am Toni Rochelle, and this is Ascending with Toni Rochelle. I hope that y'all are blessed. I hope that y'all are having a blessed day. I hope that the holidays is going well so far for you. Man, it has been a week for me, y'all. I don't know what y'all been going through, but let me just tell you, I got attacked at the grocery store at Trader Joe's by a man. He had road rage. He was ready to attack me. I got attacked almost by a man on a motorcycle this week from road rage. Let me tell you, people are like going out of their mind right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the atmosphere. I don't know what's going on. So y'all be safe out there. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention, do a check-in with yourself. You know, I was trying to figure out, like, why am I getting attacked this week? Why is all these things coming against me? And I'm feeling like this. Sometimes we have to take a moment and just look at ourselves and examine ourselves and make sure that we are at the right pressure points and that we are doing okay. You know, I think sometimes we forget because life is just so busy and we are trying to do all the things that we need to do. Sometimes we just got to slow it down, breathe, check in with ourselves, and keep ascending, you know? And so I just have to share that with y'all because I needed to let it loose. I need to let it go. I don't know for all of you if you're following me or if you know what's going on with this platform right now, but pretty soon next month, January the 13th, we will have an Ascending with Toni Rochelle live. You hear me? Ascending with Toni Rochelle live is going down. I'm super, super excited. I can't wait for the event to happen. What that looks like is that I'm going to have a live audience. I'm going to have speakers. I'm going to have a panelist. I'm going to have live music. I'm going to have some appetizers. Yeah, your girl going to be a little fancy. Okay. And most of all, I will be hosting it. And so what that looks like is if you're in the audience, you'll get able to come and watch the show up close and personal. And you'll be able to ask questions. You'll also be able to give your impact, your testimony, your thoughts about the platform. Because I believe in coming together as a community is what keeps things going, and we all need to work together. And I also believe that brings impact. And then let me just tell you about who's going to be in the building that day. We have Treva Reed from District 7. Okay. We have activist, comedian, father, Donald Lacey. Okay. And if y'all don't know these people, I suggest you go and Google them because they will come up. These are pillars in our community. We have the Honorable Judge Tamara Steele. Okay. We have Dr. Lakita Long in the building. Okay. So we have some pillars. And then we have Grammy nominee Sean Williams, the poet. Okay. So I am so excited that they all said yes to my platform, to our platform, for them to come and share their experience, their impact, their thoughts about ascending, because that's the one thing we all have in common, that we all are ascending through this thing called life, y'all. Life is hard. Life is tough. Life is sad. Life is confusing. Life is challenging. And none of us can do it by ourselves. None of us can get through it by ourselves. There is not one person on this earth. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what color you are, what gender you are. You cannot get through this thing called life by yourself. And so I believe that if we come together, we share our stories, we fellowship with each other, we love on one another, that we can get through it together. So I'm super, super excited about it. The location will be announced within the next week. There will be tickets that will be sold for you to get in the building. It's not going to be a super high ticket. It's going to be during the daytime between 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. I haven't decided exactly yet, but it's going to be a day event. So that way you still have time to go out afterwards and you'll be able to do what you need to do before. But this is an event that you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss this. I'm calling it the first annual, y'all. I'm calling it the first annual Ascending with Toni Rochelle live. Okay. So get ready, get ready. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be an event that you don't want to miss. And most of all, I believe that it's going to set the tone for 2024. Okay. So your girl is excited. Okay. Get excited with me because I'm excited. I hope to see y'all in the building. I hope that you tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody else about the event because it's not going to be a day that you want to miss this. Okay. Well, it's Sunday, y'all, and this is, you know what we do here. We talk, we have conversations. I have the pleasure of not one, not two, but three guests today. Okay, and we are going to be talking about ascending through trauma. Whew. I really had to pray about this one, y'all, because I mean, trauma is something that we all have experienced as well. We all deal with it in different ways and different layers. But I have three women that's coming on today to tell me their stories, tell me how they have ascended through trauma or how they still trying to get through trauma, because some of us are still trying to get through it, if you know what I mean. So get ready. Get ready to be engaged. Talk back to us. If you're on the live, thank you everybody that's on the live so far. Talk back to us, ask us questions, because this is how we keep it going, y'all. We are in community. So again, if this is your first time tuning into this platform, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Ascending with Toni Rochelle. And if you're like, what does ascending mean? What is this girl talking about? What does ascending mean? Ascending means to keep going, to push yourself, get through whatever comes against you. Some of us, we are suicidal. We've been through divorce. We lost our job. We lost a child through gun violence. We lost our jobs. We don't have enough money to pay our bills. We found out that our uncle is really our dad. Like, life be lifing. Okay, so that's what the word ascending means. It could also mean like maybe you're on a job and you've been a receptionist for 10 plus years, and now you want to feel like you want to become a manager, or you want to become some type of other leader. Like, it's climbing the mountain, it's escalating, it's not staying stagnant at that one place that you've been at. Just as, like, this is 2023, y'all, and we only have a couple more weeks left, and it's gonna be 2024. So don't you imagine yourself, haven't you told yourself that in 2024 I'm gonna level up, I'm going to get the bag, I'm going to get that promotion, I'm going to find love? That's what ascending means, y'all. So just in case you didn't know what that meant, it means all kind of different things, but mainly not staying at the same place, okay? Just like that, just like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up my guests for today. Give a shout out to everybody that's on the live. I appreciate y'all tuning in. You could be anywhere else, but you here with Toni Rochelle. I love y'all. My first guest I'm gonna bring up, I've been knowing this lady for so long. I think this is probably about like a 30-year, maybe 35 friendship. Okay. I'm excited to have her on. I'm gonna bring her up. Hello, Twila.
Hey everyone.
I'm so excited to see you. Thank you for being here.
Excited to be here.
Okay, and I'm gonna bring up my next guest. Hold on just a second. Hi, Delandra.
Hi Toni.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good now that I see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yay. Okay, we missing one more guest, but she'll be on in a little bit, but that's okay because we have plenty of time to get up in y'all business. Are y'all ready for me to get it all up in y'all business? Because that's what we do here. That's what we do here. So what I would like to know is, and either one of you can answer first. When you think of the word ascending, what does that mean to you?
So ascending to me is like going higher, leveling up, just going as high as you can get, reaching all the goals and doing it with the Lord and whatever the Lord permits for you to do.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
And
Tyler, what?
ascended to me is pretty much the same, leveling up, pressing toward the mark of the higher calling, and just thanking God for my house being built on a solid foundation. And no matter what, I can't be tossed to and fro. I'm on the winning side, and I'm gonna stay on the winning side.
That's right. That's right. I like that. I like that. I always love to hear people's perspectives of what they think the word ascending means because there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. So today we're talking about trauma. I definitely have experienced trauma from so many angles of life. Just growing up in the foster care system, never meeting my father, going through a divorce, being in a car accident, even just like losing friends, death. I mean, I can just keep going on and on and on. But I want to hear from you, ladies. What is something that you have ascended through when it comes to trauma? Are you still in trauma, experiencing that?
For me, trauma is my middle name.
Oh,
You know,
talk about it.
it just gets to the point of what you do to fix that trauma and how you heal from the trauma on what becomes traumatic moving forward. But I grew up from birth in trauma.
Mhm.
I still deal with traumatic things to this day now. So it's just all about how you deal with it. And I keep the Lord in my back pocket because that's the only thing that gets me through it.
Amen. Now let's get specific about you because that was very strong. You said trauma is your middle name, so
Yeah.
I got to know what that meant. You got to give me some specific
Um,
details.
So I got adopted at 9 months old. I was in and out of foster care from a couple months old to about 9 months old, and was adopted. I was adopted to a white household. That's how I grew up all the way to like the age of 12. So for me not to know my background, my culture, that kind of thing, that's very traumatic. Going through school and having kids making fun of me because of who my parents are, that became traumatic. The adoption ended when I was like 12 and I got thrown into foster care, all the way I think until about 13, 14. That was traumatic, dealing with things that you deal with in and out of foster care. I went back to my birth mother. That was extremely traumatic, going from being with a household that had anything that I could think of, going to being in a household full of 12 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. Um, I've been through some things, trying to transition, and I basically I feel like I raised myself to a certain extent, on a whole lot of things. So that just having a traumatic childhood, and I think that I used that as a crutch when I got older, because that was comfortable for me, and it was easy for me to say, oh well, I was in foster care, oh I was this, oh I didn't have that. And I started at 18 just doing extreme things that I wouldn't normally do, but it was like a survival mode thing for me. So just, yeah, trauma.
I'm trying to hold my tears back because I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
First, I want to say congratulations because you definitely ascended because you're sitting here with us today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And secondly, what are like specific things that you did to push yourself through this life? Because um, I heard you say you used it as a crutch at first. Be more specific what that means.
I guess I would say, so when I turned 18, so I grew up in Dallas.
Okay.
I grew up in Dallas. So I went from the suburbs of Red Oak to the hood of South Dallas. So I've
Oh,
seen like both sides, and I've seen a whole lot of things and been through a whole lot of things. I got tired of Dallas, and at 18, I moved to Lawton, Oklahoma, which is how I got here to Oklahoma. So when I
oh,
got
girl,
to
you're a
Oklahoma,
lot in Oklahoma.
Lawton, Oklahoma, Fort Seal. So I just went from, my thing was military men at that point. So I went from, oh, well, he's in the military, kind of just did my thing, was very promiscuous. And I had 2 children. before I was 21. I had two kids before I was 21. I depended on men to pay my bills and do everything for me. Like I didn't know the first thing of what to do as an adult and how to take care of myself. My son's dad, um, some things happened and he ended up getting killed. He was in the military. He ended up getting killed in 2015. That was a month after I had had my youngest, my 8-year-old, that I had her. And like that, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do because I never had to survive fully on my own at that point. There was no money. There was nothing. So at that point, after he passed away, I don't have a choice but to get it together. I went to nursing school. It took me 2 tries in nursing school. And right now I'm running a case management and home health care business. And I've got as high up as I can go, as far as that company is. So I, I live in a nice home, a home that I've dreamed of, a car that I've dreamed of having. Like I have it. I just realized, um, Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, I realized that I've made it. I've ascended. I've made it. Things that I've prayed for to get through, I've made it. So, it's just putting in the work, therapy, a lot of therapy, and to stop making excuses. Um, and even Twila has helped me with the negative thinking. If you're always going to negative think, then negative things are going to happen. So whatever you talk and put into the atmosphere is what you're going to get. So a lot of prayers, a lot of talking to God, a lot of self-evaluating, a lot of therapy. And now I go to church. Like every Sunday, I make it my business to be at church. And that's not something that I was used to doing. So
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
thank
So
you.
proud of you. You said a few things that I want to, talk about. First of all, you said you went to therapy, and you don't hear a lot of people saying they go to therapy. Like, what made you go to therapy?
Um, when I realized that I was the problem, I used to put blame on everybody else, and it's like, oh well, he's the reason I act this way, or she's the reason, or I don't like this and I don't like that. Until I finally realized I went through therapy multiple times, but the last time is when I really, really finally just sat down and put in the work and was willing to accept that I was the problem and that I had to fix the problem, and I could no longer keep using my trauma and my past as an excuse and just to build my future the way that I want it to be. And I mean, hey, I've built it, and I'm actually in a good place to where I'm happy in my life.
I'm so thankful to hear that. So thankful to hear that. And let's talk about God for a second, because you said you went to God, you started going to church, and you're heavily on going every Sunday. Who introduced you to God?
So I grew up in a very religious background, actually. I think it was just shoved down my throat so much as a child that when I got the chance to where I could choose whether I'm going to go or whether I'm not going to go, I just chose not to. And I feel like I've ran from my calling. I've heard people tell me that all the time. You're running from your calling. You're running from your calling. And when you finally just sit back and let God be God, he does some miraculous things. Um, so I've always had the church background. I've always believed in God. I've always known who God was. I just was never active in my faith.
Yeah. So today you're a mother. You have one or two children?
I have three.
You have three. Okay. Was a blessing. So growing up with not having a stable childhood, how is motherhood to you today, right now? How?
Motherhood is hard.
Hmm.
Motherhood is hard because I've had multiple people raise me. Some ways I feel like wasn't right. Some might have been the right way. I'm still to this day, trying to find out the best way to parent. I'll never say that I'm the best parent in the world, but I do the best that I can. Um, I got a 14-year-old daughter. So, she's kind of going through, she's really teaching me a lot, with patience and my faith, putting my prayers to work. And me and her are finally at a good place where we're not having a lot of chaos going on. So it just strengthens my faith, honestly, that God's not going to leave or forsake me at all. And it doesn't matter what I go through, he's always going to be right there to lead me through what I need to get through.
Does your children know about your background? Do they know how you grew up and what you have overcome or went through?
They do. I pick and choose kind of what I give to them, because two of my kids are younger, one's a little bit older. So, I'll kind of share. They love my birth mom to death. So I try my best not to put my personal opinion in the mix of that. So I let them have their relationship with her, and me and her relationship is our relationship. But I do. They know a little. I pick and choose what I care to share with them, though.
Right.
But as far as being an adult, they've been through the struggle with me since day one. Going to, like, me and my older two, we lived in a homeless shelter after my child's father put us out. We lived in a homeless shelter for two months. So they've been there. They've been there. They know what I've gone through, but they're my biggest supporters and my biggest cheerleaders for sure.
Wow. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
you have ascended, girl. You
Yes.
are ascendant.
Yeah.
Oh, that just helped me so much. You just have no idea. So much.
I will say I do have a village. I'll say that I didn't care for the mothering figures that I had, but when I got old, I learned that family's not who you're born to, it's who you pick them to be.
Amen.
Yeah, who you pick them to be. I had two very important women that have taught me how to be a mother, from what goes in a diaper bag. I could pack a diaper bag with my eyes closed now.
See, that's what I'm talking. That's the specific stuff right there. Some people don't think about that's not important, but those are real specific, detail, important things in life.
Yeah, not my kids not coming out, making sure they got socks on and the undergarments, the coats. Like, I mastered that, but I wouldn't have mastered that because I didn't know how to be a mother until somebody showed me. And these two women are like, they're still life, they're family to me now, Yes. So shout out to Latrinda Wheeler and Cassandra Pinckney. They have started with me from the bottom, and I'll forever be grateful for the help that they've always done for me.
Yes, because it takes a village to raise a child. And I love that you shared the diaper bag method, because that's something so small, but it's something so huge when you just don't know. And some things in this life, we just don't know. And that's why community is important. That's why, and you also said something, we don't get to choose our family. We don't get to be born into certain families and who we're going to be, but we get to choose our family.
Absolutely.
It's a choice. And I love that for you. I'm so thankful for that for you.
Thank you.
I'm in your business, girl. I'm in your business.
You in my business. I didn't know we were going that deep today, but since we there.
Yes, we are. I'm about to get in Twila's business.
Okay.
Hey, Twila.
Hey.
Yes, you got to follow that.
You got to follow that. Yes, girl. Hey, girl. Hey.
I'm just going to go right into it. Same question. When you think about ascending and you think about trauma, what does that look like in your life? What have you experienced?
Oh, girl. I mean, trauma after trauma after trauma. And now my trauma is not the same as yours or Delandra's, but I had three kids before I graduated high school, but I honestly feel like in the direction that my life was going in, kids saved my life. Now, I was raised in a Christian home with a mother and father that kept us in church, but as I am an adult and just maturing and growing in God, I understand how you have to be abased and abound. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be balanced. And in my home, we didn't have the balance part. It was all one way. And that was my mom and daddy was in church, and it was church, 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 church. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But we can't have a conversation outside of that with them, even now to today. And that kind of gets frustrating with everything that's going on in today's world. But they are who they are. You know what I'm saying? We are who we are. We just know that what was dished out to us in life, now we know, as growing in God, which how to handle it, or well, we're learning it as we go. Again, I had 3 kids before I graduated high school, and I have a 4th child. She's a 3rd year in college at OU.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and I'm super thankful. The gratitude, child, it's up there.
Twila, you said you had 3 children before high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we got to get specific in this. Okay, how did you do that? How did you raise 3 children when you was a child yourself?
I was a child myself. It just it helped me grow up, Toni. Like, honestly, I was going down a road of destruction. Like, I was smoking marijuana in the 7th grade. Like, I ain't never even heard of it. My friend was stealing it from her mama, and we would be high as kites going to school. I didn't even know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was just so down with whatever, and I have all these homeboys that's in the streets, robbing, stealing, selling drugs. I gravitated to the bad boys. I love it, the bad boys, and I just know that having kids early, which I don't suggest that for nobody. So I made sure my daughters were covered. But having them early, it just took my mind in a different direction. Simply because when my first son, Chaunkuise, he's 36 years old. When he was born, when he turned 6 weeks old, he had a acid reflux, and I didn't know what that was. But babies, as newborn babies, they're nose breathers. They can't breathe out their mouth, and so he had acid reflux. And when I fed him, it started coming up, but it would only come up out his nose, which he couldn't breathe. And when we realized that he couldn't breathe, and we rushed him to the hospital, like, y'all, my son was dead. He was all the way blue. When we were rushing him in there, I was so crazy. I was pulling my hair out, literally out of my scalp. And we ran him in there, and they was like, oh my God, like he was dead. And they resuscitated him. Well, it was God, okay? It was God. Yes. But that caused me to be out of school for the whole rest of that year. I just went through it, but at the same time, God allowed me to go through it because he knew where he was taking me. I didn't know, but he knew. And girl, I had to go through, I went through some stuff, but I was always a praying woman, even when I was out in the streets, kicking with my friends, them, my cousin, them, they'll tell you, like, they be all out smoking on the corner, kicking it. I be in the car, in the back seat, on the floor, praying, just praying. I don't know why. I used to feel
that foundation was put in you. So even though you left it, it never left you.
It never left me, because I would be praying. Literally, everybody that was friends with me was happy they was friends with me, because they was getting prayed for. I was praying.
They was blessed. They was blessed. They say when you bless and you connected, the people that's connected to you, they get the blessing too.
They get that blessing
and
too.
Praying for them.
Yeah, I didn't know it, but yeah, that's exactly what exactly what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So just being connected to
Mhm.
me, they were getting prayed for. So that's connection is so powerful. So even being
Yeah.
connected to this group, you know what I'm saying, is powerful. Connection is powerful.
Yes, it is. And you just mentioned it, but we are I am connected to you. I am connected to Delandra because you have first of all, our friendship has been forever. I met you because you was making sure I was looking cute all the time, making sure my hair was whipped. I think I got my first weave. It was from you. And you've always just been like a big sister to me, and um just I love you, I love you, and I'm glad to know you. And so let's talk about our group. Both of y'all, whoever want to start first, let's tell the community about our group.
Our group is amazing. Our group is amazing. We get up every morning at 6 a.m. Some others earlier than 6 a.m. Tony.
At 4.
But we get up faithfully every day, Monday through Friday, and we get together and we pray. We do devotions. We talk about everyday life stuff. So when you think that you're going through something, uh, everybody else has probably already been through that, or they're going through something worse. So it's just that time that I have carved out of my day, and I make it my business every day to get on this group. And even if I don't even say anything, I get on there. It's just being in the midst of lovely women. It's what, five of
Yes,
us on the group, and I enjoy every minute of it and can't wait for tomorrow morning.
I know. Talk about the group, Twila.
I mean, hey, we got a place to pray. You know what I'm saying? To start your day off. First thing in the morning, 6 a.m. with a group of ladies
Yeah.
that is seeking the same thing. We're gathering together in Jesus' name, in his love and his truth. And we know that we're our prayers are not in vain. So
Right.
yeah, we lifting up the nation, we lifting up our families, we lifting up our finances, we lifting up relationships, connections, we're lifting it up. We powerful, powerful. um yeah, it's just it started about 2 years ago. I started with another group of ladies, and and then I ended up getting my own group, and it's still it's powerful, praying together. Where the Bible says, where two or more are gathered together in his name, he's surely in the midst. He's surely in the midst. And we've been having testimonies after testimonies. God is showing up and showing out in our lives. You know what I'm saying? And just know that it's going to be more and more testimonies, more and more miracles, more and more blessings.
Yeah.
Super excited. Super. I mean, my spirit is just full. You know what I'm saying? From the love
Very
of
much
God
so.
and community and connection. I love it.
And that keeps coming up in this conversation today. Like you said, Delandra, like community, having somebody have your back. Like, I don't know what happened. I was talking to Twila one day on the phone. She's in Oklahoma City. Delandra's in Oklahoma City. Y'all know I'm in Oakland, California. And I was talking to Twila one day, and I think I was going through some, and I was just like pouring my heart to her and just telling her about life. Life was showing up for me. And she was like, yeah, I pray every morning at 6 a.m. and this and this. And I'm like, for real? And I said, okay, well, I kind of do that, but I don't really do that. And she was like, well, you should join this group. And I said, hold on, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on. It's 2 hour difference. That means I got to get up at 4 a.m. and you at 6 a.m. I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, Twila. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. And I logged on and I did it. I got on and I felt good. I felt great. I felt like I was doing something real good for myself, for the Lord. I felt like he was happy that I got up to be with him and then to be with other people, women, people that's fellowshipping at the first top of the day in the morning. Like that's the medicine, y'all. That's a blessing to start your day with the Lord, with fellowship and with the word, with prayer, with testimonies, and now, like she said, it's been about 2 years. Even if I want to sleep in past 4 a.m., it just wakes me up. Like automatically, I just pop up and I wake up and I don't even realize that it's 4 a.m. anymore. It's like it's just like another way of like every morning you get up and you brush your teeth, right? You do your daily things, you drink your coffee, you take your shower, whatever. Like it's the same thing. It's something that I decided that I wanted to implement in my life and that I kept going. So I'm so honored that you invited me that day 2 years ago and that we just kept it going and that we are that we do it. And let's talk about what we're doing right now. Let's share what, because the thing about this group is like you said, like we've all had testimonies. There's been things going on with our children, our finances, our spouses, our family, and we have seen things come to life. We have lost things. We have been in terrible situations. And so what did we decide to do, y'all?
40-day fast from wrong thinking.
Woo!
Twice.
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 Oh my God. Okay, talk about it. Because it was 40 days, y'all. 40 days of giving up something. But the main thing was of wrong thinking. I have realized I was going through some stuff and I started like, I can sit here and talk to y'all every week. I can be that friend to uplift you, to pray with you. But for some reason, I have been talking bad to myself. Like I was not being good to Toni. I was not. I was not being good to myself. And what made y'all want to go through with this fast as well?
Well, originally, I didn't know what it was, but Twila convinced me, and I mean, I thank God that she did convince me twice to do it twice, because the first time, I'll tell you what, the first time before we even started the fast, the devil, I believe, was on all of us really, 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 really bad in that group. Before we even started, I think it was the week before it started. So, I had got my little rough patch before we even started. I'm gonna trust you, Lord, on whatever this book and Bible app is that we're getting up at 6:00 in the morning. But the more and more the days kept going by, and even more so this second time going around, I'm like, you know what?
Uh-oh. She froze. See, the enemy is a hater. He mad because we try to give y'all a gem right now, but that's okay. That's all right. I think she back.
Can y'all hear me?
The enemy was hating on you, girl.
Okay.
What was the last thing y'all heard?
You said that you were talking about how she had you were going through it and something happened. I'm not really even sure.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, everybody on the group was going through it way before we even started, like the week before, and I was like, I don't know if this is something that I want to continue to do. Hence the wrong thinking. And, the whole time Twila's like, you got to be positive. You got to be positive. And I'm like, I'm tired of hearing that. Like, like my life, it sucks right now. Everything that could have happened to me the week before we started the fast. So fast forward the second time, I made it through the first time. It got kind of rocky, and I did give up at the end. So the second go around when we've done it, oh my gosh, God has showed up and showed out for me in so many different ways, for me and my family, and for the different people we've been praying for. So, and then just the fast from wrong thinking, I didn't realize that my thinking was negative. Like, because I had got so accustomed to it just being a natural form of my life. And like now, sometimes before I even get started talking, especially to Twila, if I'm talking to Twila, I will pause myself before I start negative thinking and remember that we are still in the fast, but we're halfway through the second go around. And like I shared with you guys on the group the other day, I think I'm more prepared the second go around, because I'm like, not today, devil. Nope. cue my church music.
Mhm.
Nope, let me pull out my Bible app. I'm proud to say that I have taught my three children how to pray, and they can pray. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, they can pray. Especially my youngest one. She got baptized a couple weeks ago, and she's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. So, I just got that newfound excitement in the Lord, and I can't wait to see what else He has in store for me.
Yes, I'm so happy to hear that. I heard you say, so now it sounds like now you have more awareness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awareness is what I'm hearing,
Well,
right?
not only that too, but not only that, but the scriptures. I never just really knew the scriptures like that. And when we go through them in the morning, talking about I'm the head and not the tail, and and uh, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Like I can quote some of these Bible scriptures, and when things start going wrong at work, yep, I write them on my board. I scream them out, and guess what? My day goes well. So like this group, oh my gosh, this group, and I will say the other group that we were in, has been a blessing to me, because if I didn't have that, I'd probably be somewhere depressed,
Mhm.
crying. God knows where I would be, but I thank God that I am able to go to the Bible and go to God and pray now than some of the other things that I would normally do. So
Yeah,
I'm thankful for this group, and it can't go away. So
yeah, and it can't go away, and it can't go away.
that's
I see
right.
my third guest just I'm gonna bring her up on stage. Hello, Chaunkuise.
Hi. Hey, y'all.
You look so beautiful.
Hi. Thank you. I just came back from a bridal shower. So, whew. How are you
Hey,
guys?
we are good. We are good. We're excited to hear from you, to talk to you. It's been some deep conversation going on today, lady. Okay.
Amen.
So
Okay.
we want to get in your business too. When you think about the word ascending, what does that mean to you? What does that do to you?
So, when I think about the word ascending, when I first heard it, by the way, love the name. Super cute.
Thank you.
Um, it moves me in a different way. So ascending to me just it means so it's a powerful word, meaning like it's so strong. It just made me feel like I'm coming to you, Lord. And I don't know. I can't explain how I felt about the word ascending because honestly, to be truthful, I really have never heard the word before
Yeah.
until I seen it and be truthful. So I was looking at my mama like, what is that? And that's when she had to break it down to me what ascending was. And I was like, oh, okay. I like that. So it's such a beautiful name that you picked. And it's so powerful in such a way that I was like, I like that name.
You know, I appreciate you saying that. Like, I don't even know what that means because even when I heard the word, I had never heard the word ascending. I had
Mm-hmm.
heard the word descending.
Descending.
You know, and
Me too.
what's funny is that like a lot of us, we've been reading the Bible for a long time, right? We've been in church
Mm-hmm.
for a long time, but the word ascending is all through the Bible. It's all through the Bible. Not only is the actual word in the Bible, but the definition, the
Mm-hmm.
the stories of in the Bible is about ascending. Um, and honestly, I believe that the word means a lot of different things. And
Mm-hmm.
really, the world, all of us have been ascending, and we just didn't even know it,
You know it. Mm-hmm.
right? So let's go even deeper. So when you think about the word ascending, let's talk about you ascending through trauma. All right, maybe you're still in trauma. What does that look like for you?
I feel like trauma is such a word that I am now learning how to deal with. At first, I never thought about trauma before. It sounds crazy, but I never thought about my childhood trauma. I've never thought about trauma now. And the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, you do have trauma. You do have some things that you now need to work on and um, fix, for yourself. And so with me being with this group now, I've learned like so much of myself in so little time because I've been through a lot this past year. And so trauma, it is such a touchy word for me, but it's also a word that I am like, okay, this is what I need to learn about myself because clearly I did not know I was going through some trauma. I have trauma. I never knew it. I just never knew that I was even in trauma. So now I'm just trying to figure out my past trauma and how to deal with trauma, childhood trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful what you just said. Um, and this question is for everybody. I heard y'all all say how powerful this group is that we're in and that how it's just helping us so much and how y'all all feel connected and y'all discovering things about yourselves and who you are and how you want to be and how you want to show up. Like, what would you tell someone, there's a lot of people that don't have this group. There's a lot of people that don't know where to start their healing process or be connected in community like this. What advice could you give, that person that wants something like this or that's feeling, disconnected and that want to be in something like this? Because Twila, you just started it because the Lord told you to do it and it was heavy on your heart, right?
Girl, I was scared. Like I didn't want to do it because that means I gotta be all the way right. I mean, not like that, but I know I'm not perfect, but it was some things in my life that I know I needed to get right. You know what I'm saying? And so I was gonna let that stop me. I was gonna let that be the excuse, but woo, Jesus, with everything that's happened to me in these last really this last year, but specifically this last 2 months, I had to. I don't know if I was really ready to be all the way right, but I got to press toward the mark of the higher calling. And so this is what this is. And it ain't just my group, it's our group. And I thank him, all of the ladies, because we're missing one that's in the group. Because all of them, it's like the body, and each person makes this group what it is. So I am super thankful for y'all. And this fasting from wrong thinking, if you think about it, like if you could just imagine how many thoughts go through your brain a day, probably millions,
a minute sometimes.
you know what I'm saying? So just think about how the devil been playing with us all these years in our thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Life forced me to find this book. And I told Toni and them, like, I've done this fast probably 20 times. Man, because I needed that many times. Like, we're born in sin, shaped in iniquity. We don't have to do anything for us to have wrong thinking, for us to do bad things. Wrong stuff, bad things, it comes natural to us. What we got to discipline ourselves to be right, to walk in love, to not think negative, to cast those thoughts down, exhaust itself against the knowledge of God. And I just had to start the process, because I was about to go crazy. I feel like I was about to lose my mind with, life. Everything good when you're at work, when you're around people talking and laughing. Get home, get in that bed and try to go to sleep and watch them negative thoughts over flood, and
Tossing and turning,
heart beating so fast.
Turning the fan on, turning it off.
I can't do this, So, man, keep ascending. Shoot, hey, I needed it. I needed the word ascending. press toward the mark of the higher calling. Same thing. Keep pressing, keep growing, keep glowing in God. Keep on and just watch and see what he gonna do. You watch and see.
Watch and see what he gonna do. Watch and see what he
Watch.
gonna do.
Yes.
Delandra,
He gonna
can you
show up
talk
and
about
show out all the time.
some people may not really know what fasting is. You know, can you talk about a little bit what fasting really is? Because we picked a certain subject to fast from, but when you think about fasting, what would you tell community what fasting is?
I guess my medical knowledge of fasting would be not to eat, not eating between a certain time. The Christian aspect of it would be, I've learned, can be many things that you're fasting from. But instead of doing that item, you would replace it with praying and talking to God and spending time from God. So when we originally talked about it, I was like, I got to eat. I'm diabetic. I had a million and one excuses of why I got to eat. And they're like, no, it doesn't have to be from eating, So the first fast, what I spent the 40 days from was from certain people and certain things that I get a lot of gratitude and joy from, that are probably negative or that I've learned are negative and that I needed to separate myself from. So that was the first go around. This second go around, I don't care to actually share because we're not done yet.
That's okay.
So,
That's okay. You can't share. That's the thing. You can't share everything about the fast.
Yeah.
We just give y'all a little bit of something.
Yeah, but I will say I'm on it every day. I'm praying. I'm listening to my church music and my gospel music, and just really sitting with myself, and bringing the Lord in to sit with myself, because I found that sitting with myself is very uncomfortable. So I bring the Lord in, and he's my partner, and I just sit and I talk like I'm talking to you guys. I've learned that I can just sit and just talk to God about anything. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, you just gave me an idea for another show. Sitting with yourself. I'm gonna have a whole show about that.
Sitting with yourself is very hard.
Being comfortable in your own shoes,
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not comfortable. They have to have someone around. They have to, but I find that being peace. And peace sometimes ain't, you need to be in a quiet place. You know what I'm saying? So that's what works for me. I know Pastor Cooper, he always say when we start our fast, you ask God. Like, all of us are going to fast. We're going to be praying, okay? But you ask God what kind of fast is best for you, because everybody can't stop eating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People have to take medications. People got different sicknesses and things going on with them that they absolutely can't do that. But that don't count you out on fasting. You know what I'm saying? I fast a lot. I mean, I'm a regular faster. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps me connected to God. It keeps me closer. It makes me, when I'm going through something, that's the first thing I'm gonna do is start fasting. You know what I'm saying?
Since you do this a lot, Twila, have you seen any results? Have you had any rewards? Have you had any blessings from when you've gone through these fasts?
Girl, so many, just so many. I mean, God just it keeps me closer to Him. Number one, it keeps me, keeps my mind right, because I mean, my mind can go way to the left for real, but it keeps me right. It just keeps me right. And the Bible says some things you can pray all day long till you blue in the face. Some things ain't coming out by just praying. You have to pray and fast for that thing. So, I mean, it's super serious, but fasting will keep you closer to God, because it opens you up. You know what I'm saying? And you get vulnerable, it's because it's like, if I have a problem with cussing, which I do, okay.
Keeping it real.
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Then that's what I'm gonna be fasting on. And just know that when you start fasting on something that you don't like about yourself or that you want to give away and replace it with something more positive or whatever, you're gonna be attacked. But I heard one of my prayer partners say, count it all joy. Count it all joy when you start going through these different attacks and things. Because the devil is mad. The devil is mad.
Yeah.
But he
Somebody
can't
said,
see
hello,
nothing.
fasting is hard. Yes, it is.
It is
It's
it's hard in your mind,
in your
okay?
mind.
It only in your mind. Because once you do it and start doing it, I promise you it's not hard because it's just not. And you don't have to make it hard. You can do a fast that's if you say I'm not fit to be on Facebook for 21 days,
Yeah.
I promise you
You can do
that's
it.
gonna be the hardest 21 days to not get on Facebook. Even though you don't even get on Facebook. Like me. I'm barely ever on Facebook, right? But if I say I'm fit to fast to not be on Facebook, oh, everybody gonna be calling me, girl, such and such. You need to get on there. Look, everything is gonna try to tempt me to do just that. So it don't matter if you say you want to fast from wearing laced up tennis shoes and you just want to wear zipped up. I don't know. You're gonna get hit with that, whatever it is. I promise you, you're gonna get hit with it.
Well, I thank
But
you, ladies, so
be
much for
encouraged.
yes, be encouraged. Be
Be
encouraged.
encouraged.
Thank you
Be
for coming on the show
encouraged.
today. Giving me being vulnerable, being open, sharing your business with me. You know, thank you for our group. I can't wait to talk to y'all in the morning. I might
Yeah.
get up at 3:30 in the morning instead of 4 a.m. But I love y'all. Keep ascending, keep fasting, keep believing, keep going. I'm proud of y'all. And I'll talk to y'all in the morning. Okay.
Absolutely.
Community.
Absolutely.
You heard
All
the
right.
stories. I want to talk about how the ladies on this platform today, they came from different backgrounds, but they made a choice to ascend. They made a choice to keep going. They found community. They found God. They decided to fast. That's what you can do too. And just like Twila said, she didn't want to do it. She wasn't all the way right. You know what? Come raggedy, come dusty, come however you are. Just show up just the way that you are. Because one thing about the God that we serve, he wants us to come exactly how we are. Because he know everything about us. So when you ready to change, when you ready to make a difference, when you ready to dust some of that stuff off out of your life, them people, places, things, habits, just make a choice. Because that's what I heard today. I heard we all made a choice to be, how to show up, how to come in community, how to be vulnerable with one another. I'm going to say it like I always say, it doesn't matter what environment you come from, what background you come from. It matters on what your heart desires. It matters what the choices that you make, that you can and you will ascend. You can get through it. It doesn't matter how hard it looks. It doesn't matter who told you what. Delandra she was basically an orphan. She was from place to place. She was disconnected. She was thrown out on the streets. Twila had 3 children before high school, being a baby. And she made a choice. It's a choice. Chaunkuise decided to be in a group to figure out who she was, who she wanted to be. You have that same choice. You have that same choice. So I encourage you to keep watching this platform, listening to people's stories, because these are real people with real stories that's going through life. We all going through life. And sometimes we just need a little bit of help. We just need a little bit of community. We need to put God in the atmosphere to keep going. So until then, I'll see y'all soon. Shout out to Believe Radio. Shout out to It's a Thing to Talk About. Shout out to you, community. Thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for supporting. And if you want to find out more information about fasting, I think the book is called Fasting from Wrong Thinking by Gregory. What's his last name?
Gregory
Gregory
Dickow.
Gregory Dickow. It's a phenomenal book. It'll help you about fasting. It'll help you with your scriptures. Get your game up, y'all. Until then, I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Follow me so y'all can come to the event next month. Tell people about this platform. Go back and watch the reruns, and I'll see y'all then. Until then, peace, love, and keep ascending.
Ascending. Oh, yeah. Gotta keep ascending. Yeah. Even at your worst, you gotta keep your vision. That's the only way that you gonna keep ascending. Her pain is my pain. Her struggle's my struggle.